We like to imagine business growth as a sleek, upward trajectory, but for a century, massive scale required a massive physical footprint. Today, that heavy infrastructure is splintering under its own weight. That weight is the result of relying on the two oldest forms of leverage available to any founder: labor and capital. This chart shows the traditional blueprint for a billion-dollar brand. For decades, the only growth path was this exact top-down hierarchy. But these multiplying layers of headcount represent a crushing administrative burden. In 2026, labor is the most expensive leverage. Massive capital offers its own friction. Significant funding remains locked behind gatekeepers, making it a lever that's largely inaccessible for the average founder starting out. Relying on headcount and external capital builds a fragile bottleneck. It leaves a business exposed to agile competitors who bypass these heavy requirements entirely. When the friction of traditional growth becomes too painful, many founders settle for a safe alternative, aiming for incremental gains of 10 to 20% a year. This line graph shows the danger of that mindset. This is the K-curve, a slow, steady upward trend that can lead to a sudden vertical crash. Blockbuster followed this exact path. They grew incrementally for years, right up until the market shifted and they fell off the cliff. Sticking to the status quo ensures you eventually hit that drop. Survival requires shifting to 10x thinking. You have to identify the single problem that, if solved, eliminates 1,000 other bottlenecks in your business. A 10% target forces you to manage dozens of small, complex choices, which usually leads to hesitation. A 1,000% target simplifies your focus. It dictates a single massive move that makes small problems irrelevant, making the higher target mathematically safer to pursue. This is the third element of leverage: media. The friction of distribution drops to zero. Reaching 50 people costs the same as reaching 5 million. Entrepreneur Matt Clark recently proved this on a romantic date. He recorded a 16-second clip on his phone with no script and bad lighting. It reached 5 million people for free. Successful media leverage depends on the ability to evoke emotion and capture attention with enough force to stop a scroll. But media carries its own market friction. The first is variance, the reality that content performance is unpredictable and dictated by shifting algorithms rather than total effort. The second friction is shelf life. Even the most successful viral content fatigues and loses its impact almost instantly. Media offers infinite reach, but attempting to scale it through human labor alone is unsustainable. A traditional creative team simply cannot produce the volume required to beat variance and shelf life. To conquer that short shelf life, you need the fourth element of leverage: code. In the current market, that means artificial intelligence. Winning the algorithm game requires overwhelming the market with massive quantity and relentless consistency. This grid shows how 9-figure companies are replacing traditional workflows. They use AI to perform the work of a 15-person creative department, generating dozens of ad variations in seconds. Think of this as a lottery ticket machine. You use AI to generate and test infinite creative variations for free on organic social media to see what sticks. Most of these variations will go ignored, but the moment you find an organic winner, you funnel your paid ad capital directly behind it to scale. Code allows a single human to direct the machine's entire output, achieving maximum scale with almost zero additional labor. The competitive reality of 2026 is simple. As soon as a human task can be codified, a computer will be trained to execute it with more speed and lower overhead. The highest returns don't always come from the newest social platforms. They come from applying this new technology to established, older media. For example, businesses are integrating AI to automate traditional email campaigns. They are producing hyper-personalized sequences at a scale that was previously impossible. By combining media and code, you lose the excuse of not having enough time. It has never been easier to be omnipresent across every channel. You have two choices. You can use media and code to disrupt your business model.